In the Telegraph and other papers, this is the Telegraph version, the court dismisses Letby challenge. So this is the attempted murder, an extra conviction on the others. Lawyers for the former nurse asked 3 senior judges if she could appeal against the conviction in July for attempting to kill a newborn known as Child K. There had been a retrial. Letby had already been found guilty of murdering 7 babies and the attempted murder of 6 others at the Countess of Chester Hospital between June 2015 and June 2016. So this was a kind of an extra case she was convicted on. Her lawyers, Charlie, said, look, because she'd been done for the others, there is no way she could have a fair trial when it came later. And that's quite a strong argument.
There is a strong argument for that, because obviously you're never going to find a jury that can actually look at that case, that particular case, that new case, with fairness or without having some kind of prejudice. But, you know, she's serving, I think, about 15 life orders already. You know, she's been heavily convicted. She is Britain's, I think, biggest serial killer. And, you know, that was...
You can go on Twitter and you can find a lot of people who say that she's been wrongly convicted. And my head is in such a stew with this case, I don't know what to think anymore. I think she had a very bad defence lawyer, that's for sure.
I think, I know what you mean. I mean, look, I think you always want to make sure that someone has had a fair trial, and what you would not want to have is a miscarriage of justice. And there have been many miscarriages of justice, which sometimes journalists help uncover. You know, dogged journalists will campaign on this, and legal experts. On the other hand, though, I also do feel for the families of the babies who've died, because she has been through the court system, and I think for them it must be quite traumatising and re-triggering as well. So it's really...
Even discussing it, I agree, putting a question mark over it is maybe the wrong thing. The courts have looked at it. However, we now know, for example, that this famous confession was written under the direction of a therapist who said, put your worst feelings on paper, however bad they are. We know that the swipe evidence on the door was all back to front. We're told that doesn't matter. I always pay attention to the Royal Statistical Society where they get involved. They've got involved saying that the actual rota evidence, that every time a baby died, it was Lucy and only Lucy who was there, is just plain wrong, because you only included the babies who died while she was there. So you got the whole thing back to front. And also, there are no experts in murder of this kind, because it doesn't happen very often. So who were the experts? They were all retired. Well,
look, I mean, I think this case is like not going to go away, and there will be more kind of looking into it. And I think, you know, if we want to have confidence in our legal system, we do have to make sure that, you know, that there isn't a miscarriage of justice. But I sometimes think with these cases, when there is a sort of head of steam building up around Lucy Letby, I just do sometimes feel like the victims are often forgotten.
And also sometimes there's a head of steam and the person is guilty and they have been convicted, and we should remember that. And actually in the news yesterday, someone said this may be the last time we ever see her, because she was present in court by a video link from prison. And this as Aisha said, is a whole life term she got for, in addition to all the other whole life terms. You know, there's enough for kind of 15 lives here. She'll possibly never be seen again.